Happy New Week. Here's your real fake news for this, the second week of March 2019, where we take our anger from politics and misplace it elsewhere. And I'm still feeling pretty snarky. In 2004, there were more than 9,000 Blockbuster video stores on the planet. Now, there are just 2. And the second to last one is closing in Australia at the end of this month. And they're demanding that you return all videos rented there by the end of the month, or else you're gonna have to keep them. Lent started this past week, and if it means nothing else to you, consider it a second chance to start that diet that didn't happen on January 1st. Rapper R. Kelly had his first interview since being arrested and denying all sexual abuse allegations. Here's a short clip from that interview.
How stupid would I be to do that?
If he goes to prison, R. Kelly, or R, as some of the girls who know him well call him, he may be the first person from the cable TV show Surviving R. Kelly to not survive.
Yeah.
Science now says your dog adopts your personality. If you're a couch potato, chances are your dog will be also. If you're a pretty social person, your dog most likely will be that as well. And if your pet tries to hump anything and everything at the dog park, repeat after me, I don't know where he gets that behavior. And speaking of animals that aren't your dog, in more and more states, roadkill is being eaten instead of wasted.
Ooh.
Idaho, for example, tracks the accidents and what type of animal and where it was run over to help identify migration patterns. The person salvaging the meat simply has to report the incident within 24 hours to the Idaho Fish and Game website. And then, depending whether it's deer, coyote, bear, porcupine, or whatever, the Fish and Game Department will explain what type of wine to serve with it. Yeah, you were waiting for that. I know. Remember that 90s sitcom, Mad About You, with Paul Reiser and Helen Hunt, that seemed like such a direct ripoff of Seinfeld that you were amazed that NBC even had the gall to run it? Well, Spectrum, the cable company, is in production to bring the show back in an updated version with the original cast. Yep, Spectrum is now attempting programming like Netflix, only even not nearly that good. So there's one more reason to hate your cable company. The South by Southwest Festival runs all this week in Austin, Texas. The original music festival has evolved into a 10-day mashup of TED Talks, Bonnaroo, Tribeca, drugs, alcohol, etc., or what Matthew McConaughey calls March.
All right.
This past week, Queen Elizabeth made her very first Instagram post. It took 16 royal workers to get that done. Here the Queen reads her very first Instagram post.
Today, as I visit the Science Museum, I was interested in...
That was the Queen. The brewers of Pabst Blue Ribbon are now going to introduce their own whiskey. The label also had to be submitted to the Alcohol and Tobacco Tax and Trade Bureau, and it literally admits this whiskey was aged for 5 seconds. And adds that even more so than PBR, it guarantees a hangover that's your worst nightmare. And if it's aged for 5 seconds, how many nanoseconds did the distilling process take? That's your real fake news for this week. I'm Rick Tamblyn, and thanks for listening, because doing this is the therapy doctors say I need to keep me out of jail. Or worse. Have a big one.